Hey guys, Masterpiss here, and in this video I'm going to go through something that can be a little bit confusing. Trinkets. Now trinkets can really make the difference between you being at the top of the DPS bottle and the bottom. If you've got two amazing trinkets, it's really going to show. So in this video I'm going to show you which trinkets are the best, why, and what kind of combinations with trinkets work really well. Okay, so I've put together a list of our top 11 trinkets. Now you're probably thinking 11, that's an odd number, but I'll explain why shortly. So there's the list for you and where everything drops. First on the list is the Eye of Command. Now this is probably our BIS trinket. It gives you a flat strength of 1353 at base level, and your melee attacks increase your critical strike by 140 for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So this is 1400 crit just on the base level. Now if you get a Warforged, Titan Forge, of course that's going to go up. But what makes this trinket really interesting is it also has a chest from Nightbane which empowers it by 30%. So if you manage to get this chest off Nightbane and you have it equipped, it's going to give your trinket 30% more. So at base level, it's 420 more crit. So that's 1820 crit at 860, which is just, you're not going to get that from any other trinket. Next on the list is the Chaos Talisman. Now this drops from one of the last bosses in Assault of Violet Hold. This one can also drop from any other Mythic Plus, so you have a chance to get this from any Mythic Plus you do at any level. 898 crit at base level, plus your auto attacks are going to give you 66 strength, stacking 20 times. So that's 1320 strength at 840. So if you get this at 895, you are laughing. You're laughing all the way to the bank. Next one on the list is the Unstable Arcano Crystal. Now this drops from Withered Gym, one of the 8 bosses. So you have a chance to get this, roughly once every 8-week cycle. So it's just a stat stick. It's going to give you 807 crit, haste, versatility, and mastery at 860. So again, if you were lucky enough to get a Titan Forged all the way to 895 or even 875, this is going to be an amazing trinket because it's just going to set your stats up quite well. Memento of the Anger Body drops from the first boss in Maw of Souls. Now this trinket is quite fun, quite interesting. So it's going to give you, again, flat strength, and it gives you a random buff. So for 8 seconds. Now you can proc all 3 of these buffs at once. It's basically 4,300 crit, mastery, haste. They can all stack. So this is really amazing, and just to put it in perspective, you maybe have one of these up at 80% of the time. So that's really strong. If you can get an 895 one, again, you're just laughing. These are your top 4 trinkets. These are the trinkets that are just like god level trinkets. Chrono Shard, another god level trinket. Again, giving you flat strength, but it gives you 4,900 haste. 4,900 haste. That's like 20% haste. This is basically a mini Bloodlust. Then it's got a set bonus. So it's a neck piece from, I think it's from Arcway. No, it's from Quarter Stars. Gives you another 1,000 haste. So call it 6,000 haste on base level. Mini Bloodlust all the time. Etten Fingernail drops from the world boss. Again, flat strength, but also gives you crit, haste, and mastery. If you can get it at 895, you're laughing. Hunger of the Pack. Now this is where the trinkets start getting just to become stat sticks. So Hunger of the Pack is just crit, and it's just strength. It does give you a nice proc, 30% movement speed, but again, if you're doing a boss, that's not going to do anything for you. Now this is another one, the Ethereal Urn drops from Nightbane again. This is just another stat stick, so it's going to give you 1,800, well this is an 895, so call it 1,900 strength. Mastery, which is really good if you've hit all your stat caps, but the on-use effect removes all fears. So bosses like dragons, where there is a fear, it's going to come in handy. Faulty countermeasures, again, this one's actually quite interesting because it doesn't give you strength. So this is more towards the bottom of the trinket list. So it does give you about 900 crit, but has an on-use effect to give you frost damage on your auto attacks. If you've got high mastery, which increases frost damage, this works really well. So if you've got like 30 to 40% mastery, you've got your crit, you've got your haste cap, this one's going to start working really well, and it's going to start scaling nicely. But it doesn't drop. I've run like 1,000 Vault to the Wardens. It doesn't drop. Nightmare Eggshell drops from Dark Heart Thicket. This is actually a really nice trinket because it gives you flat strength and it has a proc to give you haste on your melee attacks. Now it's 337 every second for 20 seconds. So all up it's about 6,740 haste at base level. Really nice. Its proc is maybe about 30% uptime, so it's not amazing, but once you're getting to about the 15-20 seconds of the proc, you're getting about 30% haste. So again, it's like a little a mini bloodlust. Doesn't last too long though, so it is quite nice. But again, more towards the bottom of the list. Last on the list is the Chains of the Valorous. Now, the reason this is on the last of the list is because it can basically fit anywhere depending on how your stats are sitting. So it gives you at 875, which is heroic, so 1557 strength, but it also gives you 1024 crit, haste, mastery, versatility, whatever you get. So ideally, if you've got all four of these, you can pretty much put your stats wherever you want, and whenever you have something that's lacking, so you haven't got your crit, you haven't got your mastery, you haven't got your haste, whatever it be, you can just put that trinket on and fix it up. So this is actually quite a nice trinket to fix your stats, but again, it is just a stat stick. I do have a special mention, and that's the Ursoc's Rending Paw. Why this trinket is... You'll see it a lot on the logs, and simply because it's a stat stick. It's got 1600 strength. A lot of people don't have anything else, anything better. It is quite a nice trinket. It's not the best. If you have any of the other trinkets at an equal item level, get rid of your Ursoc's Paw. But if you haven't got anything else, you're not going to get any other strength. That strength is amazing. The proc is quite nice. It'll accumulate maybe 2-3% of your damage on a 6-minute fight. So it is quite a nice trinket, but it's not the best. So with trinkets, it's not really what's the best trinket, it's what the best trinket for you is. Trinkets really depend on your stat priority. So if you've got your 25% crit, your 25% haste, and you really don't need any more, you don't want a Chains of the Valorous that's got crit or haste on it. You want a Chains of the Valorous that's got versatility. At the same time, if you could have any piece of gear and gear wasn't a limitation, you want to take Eye of Command on Chaos Talisman. Just because they're the ones that are going to give you the most value out of the crit. So Eye of Command at high levels is going to give you the most crit because of the chest piece. It's going to give you 30% more crit, and there's no other trinket that's going to give you almost 1800 crit. The Chaos Talisman does the same thing with strength. At max level, a Chaos Talisman is going to give you more strength than a 895 Chains of the Valorous, which just gives strength. So what you really need to do is you really need to figure out where your stats are sitting and which trinkets are going to work for you. Now there's some trinkets which you can just farm constantly, like the Memento, like the Chrono Shard, the Faulty Countermeasures. You can just keep doing Mythic Pluses forever. But then there's the trinkets like the Eye of Command, which you do once a week and hope for the best. Then there's the trinkets like the Unstable Chrono Crystal, which you can only really do once every 8-week cycle, which is pretty painful. So you really have to work out which trinkets are going to work good for your stats, what you can play around with, and what you can get, really. So a few corrections with my mathematics. The Chrono Shard and the Nightmare Eggshell are not going to give you 30% haste. The Chrono Shard without the neck piece is going to give you 15%. With the neck piece, it's going to give you 18%. The Nightmare Eggshell at full stacks is going to give you 20% haste. So these are at base levels, which is still really nice, is still a miniature Lust, and is still really good. That's it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or queries about the trinkets, leave something in the comments section below and I'll get back to you. Masterpiss, out.